Welcome to MCC 17's waiting room stream here with MCC the show. I'm your host today, JoeyCapollo, and I'm joined by three of my favorite friends to join me here, if they can introduce themselves.
I'm Saber. I haven't had toast in a while.
I'm Lucario. I definitely didn't get up 20 minutes ago for this.
And I'm steinbulf, and live streaming is stressful.
While that is true, we are here with you nonetheless for this great stream today. Just if you don't know, we're going over all the teams to watch out for today, give you some predictions, give you our thoughts on the game update video that's changed some of the scoring from the things, and also give you who to watch out for in all of these games. Real quick before we get into it, introduce the teams if you don't know. Reminder that this is a fan channel run by fans for fans, and so we are not the Nox Root nor affiliated with them in any way. Also, if you want to support the channel, easiest way to do that is subscribe. So you can subscribe here, follow us on Twitter, join the Discord, and we really appreciate that. And last thing I'll say, you can see this board back over here with our channel members. And if you join and become a channel member today, we'll add you to the board. You get access to custom emotes and an icon and access to our videos early. Having said all that, let's get into the teams for MCC 17. With my first team, the Red Rabbits, we have George Not Found, Sapnap, Tubbo, and newcomer Gumi. This is a really interesting team as there's three veterans MCC, three friends from the Dream SFP, and this will be Gumi's first time in the event. She spent a lot of time practicing on the practice server, so we're going to see how that pans out for her today.
Up next, we have the Orange Ocelots, consisting of False Symmetry, Grian, Pizza Hut, and SB737. 3/4 of this team were on the MCC 13 Purple Penguins, which made Dodgebolt. And the fourth member of that team, Kara Corvus, has been replaced by SB737. So this team will be quite the powerhouse and has a great chance of making Dodgebolt.
Up next, we got the Yellow Yaks, consisting of the two duos, Scott and Shovel, with Wilbur and Rambo. This team actually somehow convinced Wilbur to wear a team skin, even though he doesn't have to change his skin. So that's very exciting for this team. But this team is also full of experience, so we'll be sure to watch out for them, especially in those team games.
And there's the Lime Llamas with Quig, Gemini Tay, F-Whip, and Solidarity. This is going to specialize in communication games for sure, as all four players are expected to excel at that, including Gemini Tay, who is traditionally an SMP player. SMP players tend to do well at communication, especially people who've been on Hermitcraft. So we're looking at them to specialize in Build Mart and similar games.
And now next up, we have not the Green Guardians, but the Green Geckos. This is the new team mascot for the green team, and on it we have 5UP, Jack Manifold, Niachu, and Puns. This would be an interesting team to watch out for because we have the Rocket duo of Jack Manifold and Niachu, and we also have Puns and 5UP teaming up as they're both very strong, love bringing in new strategies to the event. So we expect them to do well in games like Grid Runners and Ace Race because of some practice they've had, but we'll see what happens in this case.
Up next, we have the other team with the new mascot, the Cyan Coyotes, consisting of Dream, Carl Jacobs, Ponk, and Tommy.
After that, we have the Aqua Axolotls with Captain Sparkles and Kara Corvus, two of the Crimson Crack members, and Antfrost and Arid. Once again, this is one of the most experienced teams with Captain Sparkles, Kara Corvus, and Arid all being longtime members. Then we throw in Antfrost, the practice server Sweat. This team's going to be one to watch out for.
There's the Blue Bats, Bilza, Sneak Snag, a newcomer, King Burn, and Wisp. None of these four have ever teamed together before. So we'll see how they're able to deal with chemistry issues and if they're able to unite together as a team. And they're expected to pop off in PvP games, especially BattleBox.
Real quick, we'll throw back to Saber. Saber, what were you going to tell us about the Cyan Creepers?
That Dream is on a 2-game win streak, and if he wins his third, he will be the first player to win 3 in a row. And other than that, Carl Jacobs, if he wins, will have a 2/3 win, 2 out of 3 win rate, and Ponk will have a 1 out of 2 win rate if he wins.
That'll be interesting to see. And as I'm getting yelled at by everyone else, it is the Cyan Coyotes. That was the other team change name. We all know this is the cooler team, of course. Next up from me is the Purple Pandas with Ren the Dog, and the Littlewood, H-Bomb, and Cub Fan. This is a classic H in the Hermits team, which while we have seen kind of before, they expect to do well in team games like Sands of Time, Grid Runners, and Build Mart, and we'll see if that H factor can help get them all the way to Dodgeball.
And finally, we have the Pink Parrots, consisting of the much wanted duo Fruit Ninja, Fruit Berries, and Illumina, along with 2 Simmers playing for the first time outside of a full Simmers team, Critic Zeus and Vixella. It'll be interesting to see how they do as part of a new group.
Well, that's all the teams. Real quick, we're going to play the update video so you guys can all know what that says, and then we're going to come back and break it down for you with what that changes for the event, how that changes the coins, and what we think that'll do to how they pick the games this time. So we'll be back with you right after the update video. Stay tuned for more.
Hello and welcome to the official MC Championship 17 update video. Yep, so soon. So of course, this will be short and sweet.
This MCC, we focused on adding some new maps to the roster and reviewing some of the scoring in various games. So how about we start a run through of these maps?
Battlebox is getting an artistic touch with its new map, Graffiti. Similar to the classic experience of Battlebox, players will be able to collect and use leaf blocks to help traverse the map, which may help in reaching that heightened middle area.
To get to the other side, and WackerFan is getting a hot new map too. This one's called Shallow Lava, obviously named that way to imply that it's much safer than deep lava.
And, most excitingly, Parkour Tag is getting a brand new map. This one's called Plaza. It's a kind of cool town with a canal running through it. Super fun!
But most uniquely, it has a bunch of these strange ice slides. Well, if you crouch at the right time while sprinting, you'll slide right through them. They're super satisfying and make great opportunities to gain some headway on your enemy.
In other news, Survival Games is going back to the world of Cars Forest map. And with Ace Race and his new Trident, we'll be heading back to Python's Crypt. What? We're going back? No!
There's been a small change in Sands of Time too. All puzzle rooms now have a very clear reset button. Some puzzle rooms can be reset infinitely, but some can only be reset once. So players should probably keep an eye out for this before they go ahead and click a load of random levers, thus failing the puzzle and locking themselves out from the prize. Alright, next up we have scoring changes. Well, Isaac Epic Wilkins Landlord Jr. has been a bit busy with things, messing around with scoring and stuff, so I thought, why not tell you about them? Now, as some of these scoring systems can be quite a bit to explain, especially with all their different values, we're moving the exact scores over to our website, nox2.com/mcchampionship. So if at any point you want to see what exact coins are given for what placement, just go check it out on the site, okay?
Starting with Survival Games, overall scores for survival and kills have been reduced. But there is now a coin bonus rewarded for final survival placement of your team. Your team's placement is decided as soon as your entire team is eliminated. This should help tighten the score spread of Survival Games and make it a bit less of a risky game for everyone.
To get to the other side and WackerFan, overall coins from finishing have been reduced, but there is now a larger placement reward for finishing within the top 4 places. There are also extra bonus coins awarded to the first 4 entire teams to finish as well. This should allow to get to the other side of WackerFan matter a bit more in creating larger score gaps between teams.
Buildmart has been given a very slight tweak where now each build has specific completion placement rewards, instead of the previous system where it would decrease by a consistent 2 coins every time. With golden builds, this completion placement reward is simply doubled.
Grid Runners has received a large change in the method of its scoring. From now on, all coin rewards will be paid out at the very end of the game. Once the game comes to a close, the game end score breakdown will pay out to each team a placement reward on how fast they completed each individual room. Once all 8 rooms have been paid out, each team will then receive a course completion bonus on how fast they completed the entire course. And then that all added together will make each team's final score. As a reminder, all scoring systems and how they work in depth will be written over at nox2.com/mcc just under each game.
Also, if you've been following the MC Championship Twitter, you'll know that recently we retired the team mascots Cyan Creepers and Green Guardians. Well, thanks to the suggestions from the community, we are pleased to welcome our 2 brand new team mascots, the Green Geckos and the Cyan Coyotes. So cute!
And lastly, we noticed that in the previous MCC, some viewers questioned what would occur in the highly unlikely scenario that two teams tied at the end of the event for second place. Well, so that everyone knows, all that happens is that it looks at the previous game and works out which of those teams were ahead then, and that's the team that will take the second spot. Yeah, and that was always coded in from the start. Yeah, we always had that.
Alright, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on Saturday the 18th of September, 8 PM BST. Don't miss it. Bye!
And we're back. That was the update video. It's time to break down what that actually means for the event. Really easy, the basics of what's changed. We have a new Get to Their Side map, Survival Games is back to the Forest map, and Ace Race is back to Python's Crypt from Space Race. But really what's important is the scoring changes. So Clay, if you could show on screen, we'll start with our good friend Hole in the Wall, which wasn't played last MCC.
Hello and welcome to
But
the
it's now
official
been changed to
MC
a point
Championship
bonus to the
17 update
not only
video.
the first place
Yep,
person, but
so
also the
soon.
second
So
and
of
third
course,
place
this will
finisher.
be short
What are your guys'
and
thoughts
sweet.
on how
This
that
MCC,
changes
we
who will do well in Hole in the Wall?
Well,
I think we've. Okay.
Oh.
No, you can-
I think
Alright,
the same
well-
players will do well, but when they do well, they won't actually get as many coins for that. So we'll probably see much lower high-end scores. I probably won't see anything much over 600 as compared to the 800s we've been seeing recently.
Now, I think it's interesting because we've had a lot of instances where players who are traditionally not that good do very well in a hole in the wall round, and they get very close to winning, but not quite. Like, for example, Orion Sound in a couple MCCs ago got second place to Sapnap in hole in the wall. And with this new point system, a performance like that would have earned him a lot more coins. So that could be an interesting thing that we see this MCC.
Yeah, I agree with Stein on that. It's really just gonna just buff the scores of those people who do good, very good in hole in the wall, but just can't survive to that first place, which has been quite a few people over the entire history of MCC.
It should also, at the end of the day, help it so whoever finishes first doesn't get that giant lead on every team. And so you won't likely see as big of hole in the wall differences in scores unless some team does get all three people to the end somehow, which would also get them 3 first place round bonuses, I think, as well, which we haven't seen before. So it's very unlikely.
That would be insane.
The other game that's a little simpler to understand the scoring difference as well is for Build Mart. Now it has changed from how many points are deducted when you're the next team to finish it. So if you're the first team to finish it, you get full points. Next team gets 8 off of that. Next team 8 off, 8 off, 8 off, and then 12, 12, 12, and then 16, 16, 16. So this means that it's more important than ever to obviously finish the build as fast as possible. And if you finish the build in like 9th or 10th, that is very bad for your team. Do we think this changes any of the strategies people use in Build Mart?
Maybe we saw a recent trend toward ignoring one of the builds and having 4 people focus on only 2 builds, and that could definitely help people get those early completions faster. But yeah.
Yeah, no, the strategy is changing to basically make sure not to finish the build late. You don't have to finish it first, but finishing it in 2nd, 3rd, or 4th is still very, very good for your team. And so focusing on 2 builds might be the way to go, because then you're going to finish those builds earlier, and you're going to avoid a lot of those 8th or 10th place finishes.
Exactly. The other scoring change that I think we have a graphic for is, oh, I forget which one it was. Was it? It was not Survival Games, which we're going to talk about in just a second. Producer Clay, can you tell me in my ear? It is Ace Race. Ace Race has changed their scoring system as well. We already know from the last event, more coins are given out if you finish 1st through 10th, with differences based on exactly if you're 1st, 2nd, 3rd, if you're 4th to 9th, and that was it. Now there's also bonuses if you're 11th to 20th. History is also, I mean, this was the same as last time, but now we have a better way to visualize it with our graph here. But this does show us that Ace Race is probably one of the games you can get the most points in.
Yeah, Ace Race is really good for catching up or building a lead. As we saw, the Pink Parrots late last MCC really caught up with their Ace Race, and that allowed them to get into Dodge Bolt. I would say it might be the second best game to catch up or build a lead in now.
I like how you mentioned the pink parrots, because this team looks absolutely horrifying in terms of Python script, because Fruitberries and Illumina are just godly ace race players. And then I think this is also Critic Zeus's best map. Like, he has some of the fastest lap times on here.
True.
So that team could just really make good use of this.
And Ace Race is traditionally played like later in the tournament. In fact, it's been game 6 60% of the time that it's been played. And so we could see a late Ace Race catch up. It's very likely to happen, especially since it's almost always played near the end.
This is true. And the other thing I'll mention before we keep going on game changes is if you want to ask us questions to the desk, go into our Discord with the link in the description and ask in the Ask the Show channel, and we'll try to answer your questions here on stream. So, other scoring changes, though, the big one everyone's been talking about is to get to the other side. There are now point bonuses if you finish first, second, third, or fourth, and the team bonuses now go to the first team to finish, the second team, third team, and fourth team. How do you think this shakes up strategies and to get to the other side, and which teams looking to play it late?
I mean, this really makes it. This really makes it so teams that get the team bonus, it's huge. Somebody looks at the stats from last MCC, and Ranbu, through his team bonuses, actually comes first into the other side.
Yeah, it just makes it ever more important to focus on getting your entire team across rather than just one or two people doing great. Because team bonuses are pretty much essential to getting a high team score. Because you're not going to reliably get like first or second place every time unless you're Illumina and MCC Pride. So you're going to need those team bonuses to boost your team score, and you really want to have all 4 players doing well.
Do you think we're going to see some different strategies then on some of these maps because team bonuses matter so much?
We could see more team strats, such as like when Illumina was bridging across the walls map and had his entire team go across. We could see more strategies such as that, where there's some sort of bridge or pathway for the entire team to get across. That could be really helpful going forward.
I think that could quite possibly happen on the new lava map. It's one that looks like you have to bridge across as either a team or run across. So having a whole team just go to one side so they can make it across safer could be huge for getting that point bonus.
Lucario, your thoughts on to get to their side point changes?
I mean, I think they summed it up pretty well. The team bonus is definitely the thing to go for now. So unless you trust your entire team to just book it to the end and get there as fast as possible, the team bridge strategy is probably going to be the strat to go for. We've seen Illumina do it before. We're probably going to see him do it again in this MCC. And I feel like that's just what the meta is now of this game.
We will see how they do with that and which maps they actually end up playing for this to get to their side, since there are so many. And there's one more game that's had scoring changes, which is everyone's. And it sounds like the Reds a little upset about this one. We'll talk about it. So survival games has been changed. Coins are no longer worth 100, or kills are no longer worth 100 coins. They're worth 35. And now there is a team bonus given based on when the last player of the team died. So if you're the first team out, you get the least coins, second team out a little more, all the way up to the last team alive, but based on just one member. Guys, do you think this is going to cause a repeat of the safe strategy everyone's been using in survival games recently, where we get 33 people in the final circle?
Oh, without a doubt, because especially with the devaluing of kills, there's almost no reason to go for kills anymore if you can ensure that all 4 of your team survives. Because earlier before, when you could just go for kills, you could get kills, your team could die off, like let's say you could all die off before top 20 and you could still get a good placement like Orange did, or I don't think they all died off in top 20 last MCC, but they still did very well in the game despite not placing the best. That's not going to happen anymore. So if anything, this just encourages people playing it safe even more.
I think certainly if survival games is played early on, we're going to have a lot of safe strats because people don't want to like lose that many coins early. But if survival games is played late, I could imagine people doing some risky strats, going for kills, trying to rack up just as many points as possible to make a huge comeback. That is a potential that we could see.
And unfortunately for teams doing that, it's much harder to make that comeback. Even if a team kills everyone and has every single survival, they're still not going to break 2,500 unmultiplied, which is around what the blue bats got in MCC 9.
So there's definitely been a coin parity for survival games, so it's not as much as a discrepancy between the first and last place team. That's it for coin and scoring changes for this MCC. Obviously, we'll see how those pan out. Oh, actually, I did forget grid runners. We're seeing it for the second time, but they're having it set up now where there will be a bonus for when you finish the overall course, but then coins will be given out for each room based on how fast you finish that individual room. That does mean, though, that we won't see the coin totals for grid runners until everyone has finished. So it's going to be a much, like Sands of Time, we're going to be sitting there in anticipation waiting to find out who finished first. Any thoughts on grid runners changes for that?
I really like the scoring changes. I like the idea that it's based on how fast you finish the room, not based on whether you finish the room first, because that way teams that get ahead can't get like easy accumulation points over time. Because when you finish one room like very quickly at the beginning, then you're immediately ahead and you're going to get easy points for just finishing the room at like an average pace. But now that's not going to happen anymore. You can make real good comebacks near the end.
This is true. And hopefully grid runners gets played. We expect to see new rooms in it as well, so it's not all the ones from before. But we don't know which ones might be switched out. Maybe all of them. But we're going to take a short break to show a hype trailer. Let's hit the fans with the Cyan hype trailer, because I heard, everyone's excited for the Cyan Coyotes. So let's see their hype trailer, and you will come back to the desk in just a minute. I'll keep talking. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Join the Discord if you want to stay up to date and be a part of the community. And follow us on Twitter if you want to know when we post videos and all that stuff. And as well, if you want to become a channel member, hit the join button. It probably cut off right on channel member.
Yeah, I don't believe in destiny. I just do what's best for me. Don't listen to my enemies. They're just full of jealousy. Yeah, this legacy, you gon' see what's left of me. You gon' see success in me. You ain't seen the rest of me. I just wanna be the best at what I know. Better than the rest, just watch me grow. Put me to the test and watch me go. This is my quest, I'ma make it known. They call me obsessive, oh I know. Call me selective with my notes. Call me aggressive with my flow. Call me offensive even though Joey ain't gonna lie, life's tough. Try to get by, life's rough. Try to do it right, it's not enough. Even though you try, you still mess up. But I'm still gonna fight for what I love. Still gonna die for what I love. Still gonna try, I won't give up. Still gonna fight until I've won. They say I'm way too obsessed. Go on in, that's what we need. Nothing left, and I'm not quite there yet. But those words, they'll regret. Cause I've got something left, and I'm not giving in. I will not let them win. I won't stop till the end. No. Studying them religiously so I don't repeat history. And people won't admit to me they don't want a victory. Bad enough to get a C, they'd rather just go leave it be. I know this journey I've been on since 13. Working hard and learning, never stopping searching. Yeah, it's burning, all this passion hurts me. I took action working, writing down these words. No, I'm not alright, I'm still getting by. But I'll tell you I'm just fine, so you leave me alone. They say I'm way too obsessed and I've got nothing left. And I'm not quite there yet, but those words they'll regret. Cause I've got something left and I'm not giving in. I will not let them win, I won't stop till the end. No.
Bad person. First, nope.
Cyan Coyotes hype trailer, edited by our very own Michu, was here. So give some big props to him. As I was saying before I was interrupted too, if you want to become a channel member today, hit the join button, become part of our community, and you get access to custom emotes and roles. And you also get added to the board in the studio. As well, I was told to say, if you join our Discord, expect events coming in the near future, whether it be Minecraft or other events we're going. If you want to be part of those, make sure you join. All right, team, we're back. I have a couple questions for you. Firstly, who are you going to be watching for this MCC?
I'll be watching the Pink Parrots of Fruit Ninja and the Half Simmers. I'll be very interested in how they do. It's quite up in the air whether they do extremely well or extremely poorly. We really don't know how the Simmers will perform on a competitive team, but we could really see them do well, I think.
I'll be
Lucario?
honest, I'm not entirely sure on this one. I'm thinking I'm going to watch the Pink Parrots, but obviously I'm always a bit partial to purple, if you couldn't tell. But overall, I think I'm probably going to watch the Pink Parrots because I've wanted Fruit Ninja for a while now. I've also wanted to see the Simmers on more competitive teams, so I think this is just a great opportunity for them, and I want to see how they do. I want to see them do well.
I want to see them do well too, and Pink would be my second choice. But the actual team I'm going to watch is the Cyan Coyotes, or the Cyan Cototes, as we've come to know them. We're going to see Dream, Tommy, Carl, and Ponk go at it. This could be Dream's chance at a three-peat, the first ever that we've seen in MCC. And if that happens, it would be rather glorious. I also want to see Tommy get his first win since his SBI team way back in MCC4. Tommy's been looking for a win and, frankly, a dodgeball appearance since pretty much then. And so that'll be exciting to see. We could also see Carl get a 2 out of 3 win rate, which would be awesome. So yeah, that's what I'm going to watch.
I will probably be watching the Green Geckos. I'm here to watch our boy Puns, because as I've been saying, Season 2 Puns is an S tier. I know the meme is that he's B tier, and I respect Ollie for making the meme. But I'm watching our boy Puns to see him pop off once again. And as you know, that question came out of our Discord and the Ask the Show channel. So if you want to ask us some questions, put them in there and we'll let you know. I did get asked a great question from Reichs. What team do you think will be the fastest at grid runners?
It's actually a really tough one. I see quite a few teams doing good in it.
I think it could be the Yellow Yaks. They're all quite well communicators on that team and have a fair bit of experience in Minecraft. I think that team could do quite well in grid runners.
Another team I could see doing well is potentially the Lime team, because all 4 of those people are going to excel at team games. They're certainly going to do well at Build Mart. They could also do well at grid runners. It's getting some communication, like Quig, for example, was on the winning team in grid runners in the last MCC, so we could help carry his team to another win. That's a potential thing.
I mean, there's something to be said in this game about excellent leadership, and I don't think there's a better person for that than H-Bomb. So I think the Purple Pandas could do really well in this one, especially since these people all just look like they would work very well together. This could just these team could just absolutely destroy grid runners.
I think I'm going to hit you with a dark horse pick with the Aqua Axolotls. Because grid runners is only being played for the second time, no one has like a huge advantage of how well they're going to do. But that's a team of people who have already done well in games like Build Mart, and Ants, who's shown some strategies and a willingness to try new things. So I think grid runners might be the game where they show us they're a force to be reckoned with. Another question coming in from Moon Gaming. Which 2 games do you think will be skipped? I'm guessing survival games is skipped. Guaranteed, I feel like.
Yeah, honestly,
I would agree with it.
Yeah, survival game seems like a likely game because we have a lot of teams that are oriented towards communication games, and not as many people that are going to excel at PvP. I think survival games or Battle Box is a potential game to get skipped. Even Sky Battle could happen. Really, any of the PvP games, or another rather sweaty game like Parkour Tag could end up being it.
I personally think Titular Side might be skipped. I don't think that many players are going to be too hyped for playing it. And that one has a good chance of being skipped then.
Car, you have a second pick for what game you think could be skipped?
I feel like it's already been said. It's probably one of the sweatier games that we've seen. If I had to guess, the second one would probably be BattleBox, since it's the most PvP oriented out of the rest of the sweaty games.
Yeah, that could be true too. We did get BattleBox skipped last MCC, which was one of the first times in a long while. But I'm getting a next question. It's a prediction question. We're an hour and a half away from MCC. It's time to give some predictions. Who is your pick for individual number one player?
What a question.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone have any immediate guarantees?
There's so many different potential options. It's hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
With the nerf to survival games, that really throws us in the air. It makes a lot of players unable to be a person who would have a chance of reaching first individual. I'm thinking Sapnap and Puns could definitely be nerfed by the nerf to kills in that game.
True. I think based on the coin differences, it's got to be somebody who's going to do well in Ace Race and a team who does well in Skid to their side, assuming they're both played. So then I think it limits some of the players that have done really well in the past and have gotten first or top 10 before or top 5. But because of the coin differences, it's going to be a bit harder.
Well, my pick has always been Illumina for first individual, and I think that still stands. Because Illumina will excel at Ace Race, and Illumina is the one who will grind a lot. And I think Illumina, for now, like particularly, has a lot of motivation getting the simmers into the competitive scene. And so I think they're going to be doing a lot of practicing together, or I think they have done a lot of practicing together, I should say. And hopefully those results will show today.
I'm gonna kind of agree with you there, because I personally think it's going to be Fruit Berries, just because we've seen Fruit Berries get the first individual before. It wouldn't surprise us to see him do it again, and especially now that he's partnered with his roommate, I think that Fruit Berries is going to be the one to take the first.
I'd like to add on to that and say I think Fruit Berries does have an excellent chance. He's definitely the best player mechanically in the tournament, but his game sense really lacks at times, and I think one of Illumina's best strong suits is his great game sense. And them as a duo, Fruit might be able to perform much better than he has in the past at certain games, because he's really struggled in games where he needs to know exactly what he's doing.
Very good points from everyone. And I'd say my pick is probably... Oh boy, I forgot to think about this hard, but I think I'm still going with our boy Puns. There's a reason I'm watching the Green Geckos, and I think he's shown his dominance in Ace Race before, so he's going to do well there. I think really it's going to come down to get to their side for that team, but I have faith in that team to pull off some team strategies and get their way to the team bonuses. Next question we got is from Very Loud Noises. What is your favorite game to watch? For me, I can ask that first. Really easy. I love to get to the other side. I love the chaos. I love the different elements of each game, so they always feel different from each other, and they're not just, they're not all walls, but it's nice to see them all be different styles. I like Launcher a lot, and I really hope we see the new Lava to get to the other side map, because I think that one's going to be hilarious when they're going at it all together.
I'm going to have quite the controversial take here and say Build Mart. I think it's a really good game, and the game that is most reflective of how good you are. There's no real RNG to Build Mart at all, and it's all about communication, teamwork, and strategy.
I mean, I'm going to agree with you there on a game that doesn't really rely on luck at all, but my favorite game to watch is BattleBox. Ugh, I almost said Build Mart. It's BattleBox because it's just a simple game in essence, because you just have PvP, you have a box to fill in, and you have a couple kits to pick from. But this opens up so many possibilities that we've seen before. Like, there's been such a variety of strategies used before, and it's just always nice to see players innovating new ways that could become broken in a few MCCs.
Yeah, so all those three are very, very great games, but my favorite has to be Sky Battle. I'm sorry, but in Sky Battle, the mid fights are always some of the most entertaining parts of any MCC. Like, no matter who does well, there's always some sort of pop-up, some sort of crazy play that happens. Sky Battle is just one of the most exciting roller coaster experiences to watch, and I'm really hoping we can finally get Sky Battle in the second half of the tournament for once. Please.
One day it'll happen, Stein. It's gotta. All right, we've got an hour and 25 minutes still till MCC starts. We're going to hit you with another hype trailer, specifically the Blue Bats, which if you forgot who's on that team, it's Filza, Wisp, Sneaksnag, and King Bjorn. So we're going to play that. Don't forget to subscribe if you're here and enjoy our content and want to see more. Join the Discord. Ask questions in the Discord because we want to answer them and talk with you guys. But we'll see you back in a minute. And keep being excited. This MCC is looking to be a great one. I'm just waiting for producer Clay to pop in my ear and
log them.
Being on the server is a good start. Take your time.
Yes.
Yes!
You gotta build to mid.
I
got Tommy.
Stop it. Go Graham.
Got Ollie.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah. Oh wait, Pete's there. It's just Pete.
It's just Pete.
Nice!
Swarmed by people.
What's the tip, Bill? Give us a vibe.
get it, Brian.
Oh!
Tell what you do, start it.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Ah!
Oh, God.
Got a cub. Got them all. Okay, nice.
Let the rhythm move us, yeah baby, take it too far. You're at the center of my attention, yeah you got me so lost. I love the way that you move, and how the lights keep up the groove. You're like in a movie, baby, but it's ending too soon.
Yeah. I am cutscene. Oh! SP nice. Hey, well played, well played. Yeah!
Fist!
Oh no, please! I'm the weak link! Please!
Oh, Puffy's right there. Oh my god.
Woo! Got them all. Yes!
Nice.
Yes! Let's go!
Drank my water. We're back from the Blue Bats hype tour. Anybody excited for that team in chat? I think it's going to be a very interesting team and highly chaotic and fun to watch. And we have something big to announce, not related to MCC, sadly, real quick. But if you checked out our channel, you saw that we would have hit 30,000 subscribers. Big moments for us. We're popping off. We're doing great. And because we hit 30,000 subscribers, we want to celebrate that fact. So we want to make a hype trailer featuring you, our viewers. So if you see that right here on the screen, we have a form you can go to and fill out and send us a clip of you playing any Minecraft game you like. That's a fun clip, exciting clip, and we're going to edit together in a big hype trailer to celebrate all of our viewers. This will be posted also on our YouTube and on Discord if you're finding it, and on Twitter, so you don't need to keep track of it right now. But if you want to be in a hype trailer on our channel, then find yourself doing a cool clip in Minecraft, or go make yourself do a cool clip in Minecraft, and then we'll edit them all together. As always, we appreciate all of you who watch and support us, whether you subscribe here, follow us on Twitch, join the Discord, whatever you do. We appreciate the support. Now back to MCC 17 discussion. I have another question for you guys, which is from Birthday Orange Supporter. I hope it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Do you think that the team point record could get broken this MCC?
Ooh.
I don't think so, especially with some of the nerfs that we've seen to like games such as Hole in the Wall and survival games. They've really just lessened the point disparity that you see in those games. So right away, it's just a more difficult task to just earn that many coins. So I don't know if it'll be possible. Personally, I don't think it will be.
Yeah, while there is always the possibility, like, you know, a slight possibility for the coin record to be broken, I think it's very unlikely in this MCC. Like, the Green Guardians of MCC 7 put on a spectacular performance, and that's going to be a milestone that will stand for, I think, a very long time.
Yep, it'll be quite hard to beat. And we saw Purple come within around 3,000 points of it, but that's still a lot of points to pick up. And there wasn't much space for them to get more points during the last event. So even if somebody plays as well as them or outperforms them, there's still a lot to do. And with the new scoring changes, it's even less likely.
It definitely would be very tough for a team to break that point record. We'd have to see both the individual pop-offs for them in PvP games, as well as team pop-offs for all of the team games to get that huge amount of points that team games can often give. As well, I have another question for you guys. Actually, I'm going to answer this one real quick. If you're asking if a game will be in the first and second half, most of that comes down to luck, because the Decision Dome puts in the first 8 games randomly, and then that fills in the final 2 in the second half. If a game is not put in that first 8 games, well, it's not in the first half. But what are your thoughts on if Grid Runners is in the first half? When do you think it gets played?
I think it might get played earlier on again because players, we saw from the first MC, even though they practiced a lot for it by playing the Bedrock version of Grid Runners, they still weren't fully prepared for it. So I don't know if that's really changed since the last time, but I don't think that they will play that later on in the MCC.
I'm going to be honest, I have to disagree. I think Grid Runners is going to be played kind of late no matter what. Because Grid Runners is the type of game that everybody enjoys and everybody can pop off in. It's similar to Sands of Time. That's why Sands of Time gets played late so much, is because the PvP-oriented people can do well at it. The teamwork and communication-oriented people can do well at it. And I think it's similar with Grid Runners. This is a kind of even playing field for everybody. Nobody really has this as a weak game.
That's a good point, Stein. I could definitely see Grid Runners being played either very early, first or second, if the collective majority goes, we're playing this now. But I could also see it being kept around because people feel like it's a safe game to have, so you're not put in the situation where you have to choose between 2 games you don't like. Saber, any final thoughts on that?
No.
Great, Saber. Thank you so much. This question comes from Lee, our dedicated moderator. Thank you, Lee. Shout out to the mods in chat. If you don't hug the mods, are you even a nice person? Really? Lee asked, who do you think will pop off unexpectedly? Who's your dark horse pick, some would say?
I'm going to say, I think the Lime Llamas could do extraordinarily well. We've seen Flip have some crazy good performances in the past. Quig seems almost better than ever. And I think JoeyCapollo and Solidarity also have the potential to do quite good.
My dark horse is going to be H-Bomb. I know H-Bomb's kind of a weird person to pick for dark horse because he pops off a lot. But I think especially this time, with how upset he was at his own individual performance in the last MCC, I think he has potential to give one of his best performances ever and really lead his team into a really good standing.
I think there's a chance it could be Gumi because her team just looks so scary. George Sapaptabo, it's all Dream SMP chemistry, and they're all very good players in their own right. And Gumi has put in so much work to master the fundamentals of Minecraft. So add that on to the phenomenal teamwork that she's with, I think she could do very well.
Seems like some good picks there. I think my unexpected pop-up, I could say puns again, but it's very much expected from me. But I'm going to go with our newcomer Sneak Snag on the Blue Bats. He is somebody that's very clear wants to do really well in his debut performance, wants to be able to show everybody that he is a good Minecraft player, and he's best known for playing some games that are very hard, whether it be RL Craft speedruns or just playing RL Craft in general. Definitely it's hard to get good at those, but he has done it. All right,
I got Axolotls could also do well. They all have, it's a pretty well-rounded team, and they're almost guaranteed to get it at least 7th. I think they're a very consistent team, so it'll be harder to place higher, but I think they'll do good at least.
It definitely could see some greater potential than what you've been expecting from the Aquax even though because there's a lot of people underrating them. As well, I got another question from me to you guys. What do you think is going to be the storyline of this MCC?
Well, I think a lot of people are going to have their eyes on the Fruit Ninja duo. Certainly going into this MCC, that's gonna be one of the biggest teams to look out for, and deliver either a very unexpected great performance or a disappointing performance. Eyes are going to be on that team. Will Fruit and Illumina be able to carry and practice enough? Are the Simmers going to be able to step up to being on the competitive scene for the first time? That's going to be, the big thing on many people's minds.
I'm personally seeing a Pizza Hut redemption arc because MCC 15, we all know what happened to Pete there. We don't like to talk about it. MCC 16, obviously Pizza Hut did good, but it's not what we've seen from him in the entirety of Season 1. But this is a Season 1 team he's had pretty much, except you swap Lucario Corvus for SB. So I think this is a great redemption team for Pete, and I would love to see him score another top 5.
I think there'll be one game that'll really shake up the competition. One team that is an unexpected team at that game is going to do extremely well, and a team that's expected to do good is going to do poorly, and it's really going to shake up the standings.
Were you going to say what team that is?
No, I haven't figured that out yet, or what game. But something will happen.
Good call. Good call. Saber has predicted there will be a pop-off in this event. He'll tell you right as it happens, so stay tuned for Saber's hot takes.
Guys, I think a team is going to do good.
Good. Nice.
Oh my god. No way.
I think there's a discussion we can have right there, Lucario, with who you mentioned, is SB has not really been talked a lot about. He's not mentioned as one of those top 5 players, and he's not mentioned as one of those newer players. But he hasn't been in a couple of events now. So what do you expect to see out of him today?
I still think at the end of the day, he has the fundamentals of Minecraft down, and overall, he is an above average player just in terms of mechanical skill. And add on to Pete Greenfalls, that some of that chemistry right there is amazing. Pizza Hut is an amazing leader. I love watching him. So I feel like SB, this is a very good team for him to jump back into the swing of MCC. And also Ace Race, which was one of SB's best games. I mean, we see him grinding it, but he also did very well in MCC 14 Ace Race. So if we see him do well again, that would be very good.
That could be big. Real quick, we're going to pause for another hype show, this one being the Clash trailer of those Orange Ocelots versus the Purple Pandas. And when we come back, we'll be at the predictions board because it's time for us to give our combined team placement predictions for MCC 17. So, Clay, take us away to the hype trailer.
Nice. Good job. Got him all. I got him all.
Now towards the iron bars. Now he's about 20 blocks behind.
Nice.
No, I think I lost too much momentum.
Most eliminations of Pete? Nice, I got a kill on CPK. Come on, man. Come on. I got her. Nice. Okay. Let's go! Reverse sweep! Let's get it! Red Dog and Falls, how does it feel?
Oh my goodness.
Let's go! Yeah, baby! Amazing! GG!
Oh my god!
Back-to-back titles for Falls!
Hey, group round Falls. First back-to-back winner.
Well,
got me. He got me on the left.
Melt it.
Still. Right behind you, please. Nice, you got it, guys. Well played!
oh, that was that one.
This is on mid.
Let's go.
Yes, we got it.
7-0. Good.
First place.
Welcome to Third Life, an experimental Minecraft hardcore mini-series with a twist. I'm joined by 13 other Minecrafters, and all of us have 3 lives. Your soul changes. You then become hostile and have to take out everyone else's lives on the server.
Boom, baby!
I'm literally on 1.
No!
Poor performance.
Got him. We won it! Boom, baby! Oh! What? Oh my god!
Nice, you got to me. Nice, Green, nice.
Woo!
Third place.
Oh, I need one bit of orange.
Here we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Into the spawn back.
Oh, good. Oh, I thought he got me.
Oh, yes!
And there we go.
Hand to the king, I order you to stay put.
Yeah, you have to.
There we go, I got him. I got him back.
Get out of my way, Michael.
Very good. Very good.
Rambo. Rambo's down.
Does anyone else have?
Right, got money for days. One's off the edge, got him. Nice, got him. Nice one. Down area. Oh my god! There's no way I survived this till the end, but we'll see what happens. Oh, I'm over the top of him again!
Was the beautiful Clash trailer put together by Karma Legend. Obviously tried something new. I hope you all liked it and enjoyed it. We're back here because it's time for predictions. Team, we have to decide of these 10 teams how they're finishing in this MCC. As always, these are our predictions and there's our collaborative predictions even. We're often wrong. And that's okay because really MCC is a fun event at the end of the day and there's going to be a large degree of variability into what actually will happen. All right, team, we're starting at number 10. Is there any immediate picks for who's going down here?
No, it's so hard to figure out like who's gonna get last place. I feel like when you're making predictions, last place is always the hardest thing to figure out because you don't want to put a team in last place. Every single team seems like a team that can pop up and do well. And so it's really just a matter of maybe who we think is most likely to choke under the pressure.
On that note, I put the yellow yaks in 10th.
Yeah.
Are we feeling yellow? Are we feeling different?
I also put yellow in 10th. It was a tough decision, but I feel like they might struggle to find some good leadership, and they might choke in the crucial moments of the tournament. That's definitely a possibility.
Lucario, Saber?
I don't like putting it there because they're so experienced and they obviously with their consistency they could definitely do better, but I think just in this competition there is the potential for this to happen.
Yep, I think yellow are most likely going to be a bottom 3 team. That's the range I put them in. I'm not exactly where in there they'll be, but 10th I think is unfortunately possible for them.
All right, moving on to 9th place. Who do we see finishing 9th?
9th place is also pretty tricky. Which other team do we think might not have as much of the competitive energy as like before? I don't know.
I might take the lead and say I think it might be green.
Green, interesting.
Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of this team's points are just resting on the hands of Puns, and although Puns is a very good player and he's lived up to the pressure before, we've also seen him crack under pressure before.
Yeah,
So
we've also
I
never
don't
seen
know.
him on this week of a team before. We don't know if he can replicate that performance. It's quite possible, but we can't be for certain.
And
I'm
that's true. He's
hearing-
traditionally been on very strong and very competitive teams.
I'm
So
hearing green, but what about our Aqua Axolotls team? Where are we feeling like they're going to end up?
that is another team that I would have placed lower on the standings, because I feel like they're relying
Originally-
a little bit too much on Antfrost. I'm not sure if Antfrost can, give them the pop off that they 100% need. But while there is the potential, I kind of doubt it.
I think with the scoring changes, they were originally quite low, but I think they've been bumped up a little bit.
So we're saying green below Aqua, mainly
so.
due to those big
Yep.
scoring changes. And then
Yep.
that means Aqua right in 8th.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that leaves us with 7 teams, 7 places. This is when it gets real tricky.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think another team that could potentially choke is unfortunately the Cyan Coyotes, because we have a team with like Tommy and Carl, 2 players who are known for messing around a lot, being a little bit on the less competitive side. And while they do have Dream, having 2 people who are very oriented towards content sometimes could be a little bit of a liability.
Could be tough for them. What are your thoughts, Saber? How you feeling about Cyan?
I think they'll do a bit better than 7th. I think they'll do good. A bit of a middle of the road performance, probably 3rd or 4th, with Dream getting another 3rd place unfortunately for him. I don't think they'll do quite that poorly.
What about my suggestion for 7th, the Lime Llamas?
That's another team
I
that could potentially not do quite as good.
Could agree with that.
We feeling
Because-
a Lime team? Let's talk about them a little bit. They've got Quig, Gemini Tay, F-Flip, and Solidarity, which is very much a team game oriented team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these 4 players are very much oriented towards having like consistent performances rather than huge pop-offs. Like Quig has had huge pop-offs before, but the rest of the team seems to be more about just generally doing good, and that might not be what you need in an MCC like this. You might need a big comeback performance to do well.
It's true. It's a tough one to decide. So we're putting Lime in 7th, and are we feeling then Cyan in 6th right above, or is there some other team that makes more sense there? There's also
could agree with Cyan.
There's
going
also
there.
our Pink Parrots. Fruit Ninja and the Simmers are probably the most variable team about where they could finish.
Joey?
Yeah.
I've heard a word that Fruit actually slept well, according to Illumina on his alt stream.
Oh?
First place, no questions asked.
Yeah, Fruit's gonna get first individual now that he's actually slept.
Yeah.
Reminder
We've
for everybody
seen-
at home, getting 8 hours of sleep as an S tier, boost your performance by like 50%. So
Sleep
make
is
sure
incredibly
you get
important.
plenty of sleep, kids.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Another team that I could see not doing so good is actually the Blue Bats, because they do have decently good statistics, but their problem is none of them have teamed together before. And the 3 veterans who have never teamed together are going to be trying to introduce Sneak Snag to this competitive tournament, and they could struggle a little bit with chemistry.
Yep. I think with the nerf to survival games, that team feels really dependent on BattleBox for points. And if BattleBox is skipped, they could really struggle.
Yeah, I think BattleBox will either be skipped or played very early, and so Blue will be at a disadvantage there.
So we're putting Blue in 5th place is what I hear.
Don't like agreeing with that because it's probably one of the highest just skilled teams, but I will agree with it just because of the games that people will probably be wanting to select does not favor this team at all.
That's true. All right, we're sitting with 4 teams, 4 picks. Everybody move this side so we can see. We've got Red Rabbits, Orange Ocelots, Purple Pandas, Pink Parrots. So the first 2 teams announced and the last 2 teams announced.
Yeah, that's true.
Hmm.
Well, I think in 4th place we should go with I don't know. There's a lot of different options here. Part of me wants to say actually Red is going to get 4th because I feel like PvP is going to get skipped a lot,
I
or at
will
least
not
played
agree
early.
with you.
Yeah, well, you can, whatever. You can have a wrong
Well-
opinion. It's okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll say I think purple will probably get fourth because I do think this team could do very well with H-Bomb's leadership, but I don't know if it will be enough to overcome just the sheer power that is red, because statistically, I think that might be one of the strongest teams. It's like up there at least. Meanwhile, purple is probably statistically one of the weakest teams. So just going by numbers alone, there's already that disparity. And it's not like red is even bad at team games. So it's not like playing a team game would be bad for them. It would still be fine for them.
I think purple's a valid pick for fourth,
Valid.
but I do think red is a little bit overrated because I kind of disagree. I think they are going to choke a little bit in team games. It doesn't seem like they're the strongest like team in games like Sands of Time, Grid Runners, Build Mart. I think they're gonna have to really pop off more than we've seen before if they're gonna do well in those games and in this MCC, because there's a lot of teams that are going to want communication games and are going to want to get those played late. So red's going to have to step up and get a little bit outside their skill range if they want to do well.
It's going to be tough for them. So are we feeling red in third, or is there a pink or orange team? And real quick, I want to shout out our channel member Lidell, for hitting us with a super chat, and his suggestion was pink fourth, purple third, red second, orange first. We'll see what we end up agreeing with. So we're feeling purple fourth, and then is it red third, or pink or orange?
I mean, honestly, I anticipate a red third place more than pink, just because of team games at the end. I think pink's going to do better at those.
And then I think with these two teams left, this one gets easy to make decisions. I think most of us probably agree. Pink second, orange first then?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Orange is a very well-rounded team. They can pop off in any game, especially with Pete and SB carrying the PvP. And then you have Green and False helping out a lot with communication, and they're all decent at movement.
I want to say, too, once again, Pink seems like the team that could finish anywhere from second to like 8th very easily.
Yeah.
Just because it's such a new dynamic for all four of those players being put together. Real quick, everybody move to the side so everybody can see our predictions. As I said at the start, these are just our predictions, and there are collaborative predictions done together. So they're not even our individual. But we appreciate all the creators that are in MCC, and MCC is mainly a for fun event. So even if your team is not predicted to win, that's okay too, because we're wrong all the time. To tell you how wrong, last MCC, I put Cyan and Red in Dodgebolt. They finished 9th and 8th.
Everyone laugh at Joey.
Everybody can laugh at me for that one. But we're going to real quick run another hype trailer while we reset this up so we can do individual predictions. So let's get the hype trailer for the team so we can find out about them. We can get the hype trailer from the pink team so we can find out about them. So real quick, you guys watch that. We'll be here cleaning up the board and getting our heads ready.
How you doing, Fruity?
First boost!
Go first. It's just you left the Luminous, so fight for yourself.
I got him.
Apple's on top of you.
I got him.
It's a new thing for me.
I got first.
I made it! Registering! Oh, there we go, finally!
Behind me because I'm running.
No, come on, yes, we got them, I couldn't do anything. Survived! Oh, I survived again, and Frost, let's go!
Nice.
Been very low.
Oh, I'm dying. Been dead. Let's help my cow. Dream 1 HP dead.
Right, you got yellow.
Kill him. Get HP.
Yes! Come on, dead.
Yes! Okay. Get funding.
Yes!
Pete's hit himself.
He's dead.
Go!
Nice! Melee, yeah, melee sap, you'll be good.
You got destroyed,
Oh, no, you're good!
Oh my god, I can't even make it.
Oh!
There's sand here! Can you get that? Oh my god.
That's us. Yeah, just go for it.
That's if you get
Nice. Trying to wait for them to set. Nice, but then you don't cheat, you can't lose.
There
Oh,
we
well
go.
done.
Got him.
Nice.
Got him.
Yes.
Let's be right behind you.
Oh, press button. The 3-year-old got no arrows.
I'm gonna stay with the team.
Okay, I got first.
Ooh, welcome back. That was the Pink Parrots hype trailer. That's why we're looking forward to them, because it's the Fruit Ninja duo with the Simmers duo. Now, it's time to talk about individual predictions, which is even harder than team predictions because there's 40 players and 10 slots. But we're going to try our best, see how accurate we can be, and see if we're, good at our job. All right.
We're not, trust me.
Who wants to start us off this discussion?
All right. Does anyone have any obvious picks for who they? Well, okay, we should start with who do we think will break top 10? Any obvious picks for who would break top 10?
Well, I think Fruit Ninja, both of those two are going to get top 10. I think we have players like Pete, Puns,
All right, guys. Do you think
Squirrel, very likely, Dream. But I think we should start with our number 1 pick. I think that's a little bit of a better way to do individual predictions.
Number 1 pick. All right. So does anyone else disagree with Fruit Berries in number 1?
I think it's either Pete or Illumina.
I think it's our boy Pete is the better choice.
Over Fruit Berries on 8 hours of sleep?
Oh, even with theirs, Pete's also had 8 hours of sleep, and he has
Oh.
good internet.
I can agree with that, but
Pete's my.
I also think that Illumina and Fruit will share a bit of points. So,
do we keep Fruit in top 3 though?
I'd say yes.
All right,
I
so
think
I'll put them in.
third will be Fruit and Illumina.
So,
they'll just share
yeah,
a bit of
I
points
could
so
see
they can't get
Fruit
to
Ninja
first.
top 3 would make sense.
That'd be
All right.
incredible to see 2 players, 2 and 3 for their team. We saw that in MCC. Was it 14?
14
with Blue Bats, Puns, and Sap.
Yeah.
So that would be awesome if they could finish like that. 4th place, I could see either Puns, Sapnap, Dream, Quig. Any of those have the potential.
I'm thinking Sapnap.
There's some potential.
It's going in there because I think Sapnap's just got the best team for it.
Yeah, I think Sapnap's on quite the good team. All right. Do you think that Tubbo's also on that team? Do you think he has a chance of reaching top 10?
He has a chance, but I think it's a very small chance. Especially with what I'm saying about Red, how I don't think they're going to get an optimal game selection. So we'll see about that.
What about our boys over here at the end, though? Puns, Dream, and Quig.
I think
Quig and Dream will do quite well.
I think Quig is probably next on that list because Quig, he just always does well no matter what team he has. And considering this is probably going to be a decent team for him, I think we should put Quig in 5th.
Then Dream and Punsy boys. Real quick, I also saw we got a super chat from Quinn that asked, "How do you get a survey coyotes for the win?" Which I'm not sure what your question means, so I'm gonna keep looking in the chat. Thank you for the super chat, though. We appreciate it. If you want to follow up that question in the chat, I will also see it. So clarify what you're meaning. It's all right. It happens. We all typo things. And if you want to support the stream, you can send us super chats or join, become a channel member today. But really, just subscribe. We love subscribers. All right. We have 5 players down, 5 more to fill.
I think after Quig it'll be Dream.
Oh.
I think he'll do quite well, but not quite enough to be top 5.
It makes sense to me.
Yeah, and then Puns into the next spot.
I don't think so. I really think you see a shocking placement there from someone.
Oh, you think it's
You got any suggestions or? Oh yeah, it's the pop off,
like,
guys.
About Phil's of Minecraft.
I think there's a potential for H-bomb up there as well.
I was thinking H-bomb. I'd think H-bomb over Phil would be a nut spot.
H-bomb
Yeah.
is my dark horse player. I think he's going to work really hard for this MCC, and I think he'll be able to get a top placement there.
So is H-bomb our pick at 7?
I think so.
Probably. Yeah.
Puns at 8.
Puns
Cat ears
8.
on again. Oh.
Yep, he's got his purple cat ears.
Puns at
Purple
8.
is the best color.
Oh wow.
We're left with 2 spots and 32 players.
I think we're all forgetting Antfrost. I think he could be next.
Oh, personally, I
Antfrost
was
could
gonna say
definitely
someone else because we all keep talking about how good Orange is. Yeah, we've only put one person in here in top 10. I think SB could definitely break top 10.
Ooh.
There's potential for it. My guess is that he's going to get closer to 12th or 15th or something.
Yeah, I think that Orange are gonna pack the top 20 though, with with the other ones close to the top 20.
Yeah, but you don't think SB will break top 10?
I think it's more
He
likely
hasn't yet.
like
I'm not sure he will this time.
But can we all agree on Antfrost in 9th place? I think that's a good prediction for that.
I think that makes sense. Ant's got a cool
I can
hat
agree
on,
with
too.
it.
You can
Yeah,
see right there.
it's
Look at
got his
that.
team skin.
Beautiful. And number 10, we got everyone from Philza, Rambo, SB, to even Scott or Sneak if you want a real spicy pick. Or
Those are
Tommy
all
in it
cool.
even.
I
those
stick
are
with
all
saying
fun.
SB for there.
I would vouch for Phil, but there's potential for honestly a lot of different people.
It is a tough one. I think my pick is probably Phil. Because I think somebody from the Blue Bats team makes it up there, and I think with the game changes and what games likely played, Phil makes more sense than the Wisp pick.
Yeah.
Especially if
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I feel like if there was more weight in the PvP games, it would have been Wisp, but with the current setup, it's probably
movement.
Phil.
All right, everybody
Although,
move
which
to
is why I say SB.
True. Everybody move to the side real quick. These are our picks for individual top 10. We're often wrong. So no hard feelings to any of these people. These are just our predictions for what happens. Anything could happen the day. Pete could actually finish 41st because that's happened before. But those are our predictions. We're going to throw it back over to the main desk. And while we're getting over there, let's put on the green geckos hype trailer. I almost said the wrong team name. And we will see you all in just a minute.
Big cleanup here.
Okay, I'm gonna approach. Wait, they're kind of backing out. Oh yeah, that's good. That's really good. Alright, got Randu. Oh my god.
Kill Silva? Yeah, they're upstairs.
Hit it once. Hold on.
There we go. Nice! Shit! It's fine, I got like 3 kills with that. I got like 3 kills with that. I boost up points hugely. There we go. There we go. That went really well. Nice one, Quig.
And we are back at the main desk. Thank you for rejoining us. That was the Green Geckos hype trailer put together by Carly Got Jinxed. Now, we're going to finish up most of this discussion because we're only 45 minutes away from MCC, talking about the strategies that are going to be used today. I'm going to real quick promo us one more time. Make sure you subscribe if you like our content. It's great stuff, and we would love it if you could stick around and see more. And then If you want to support us as well, follow us on Twitter, join the Discord, and hit that channel member join button to get access to emotes, icons, and an exclusive Discord channel where you can chat with us, and what else you get? Early access to videos. Those are all pretty cool things. So if you want, you can become a channel member today. It's only $2, and we would greatly appreciate that. Now, guys, let's finish this with discussion. Team strategy stuff. Should we go in alphabetical order of games, even though I don't have the alphabetical order up? What are the 10 games that we're playing today?
Well, I know Ace Race is first, alphabetically.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ace Race is simple. You just play it. Python's Crypt. So, going back to an old map, do you guys think it's possible that that Python's Crypt has changed at all? Like, how Space Race was changed slightly?
There may be very minor changes, but fundamentally the map's going to be the same. If anything, they might have like made a couple shortcuts, or they might have cut off a couple shortcuts, but no, nothing drastic's going to happen.
Do you think people are going to go for the shortcut, the one that saves half a second?
Probably not.
Potentially. Yeah, I don't think so. No, I think the interesting thing about Python's Crypt is that Python's Crypt, rather than being consistent, Python's Crypt is all about responding to mistakes, because everybody's going to make mistakes on Python's Crypt. You're going to mess up a lot more, and it's all about how well you're able to recover from that. And players I've noticed that do better than normal at Python's Crypt are Tommy and Tubbo, actually. They were teamed together both times that Python's Crypt was played, and they did rather well both times. And so that we could see strong performances from that duo, even though they're not on the same team this time. We've also seen good showings from Sapnap, Fruitberries, Filza, H-Bomb, all players that have done well, Illumina at this map.
Oh yeah, I expect that Python's Crypt returning for H-Bombs would be huge in him getting a better individual performance.
Could be a big deal. The next game to talk about alphabetically is that Battle Box game, which has a new map, of course, but the thing we forgot to mention is you can place leaf blocks. How does that change the strategy? How's that change what we think it's going to change PvP in that game?
Well, in the not in the admin stream, in the announcement video, they're saying that the leaves have to be collected, so you're gonna have to pick them up from somewhere. And it looks like there's no way to get to middle without leaves. So I think rush heavy strategies could be very viable. I'm not sure any team is particularly going to do that, but it's quite possible, I believe.
Something tells me that with blocks being able to be used in this PvP game, a player like Fruit is going to do very well compared to normal, because Fruit is very good at incorporating block placing into all of his techniques, like movement and PvP and stuff. Like the way he glitched in the classic Battle Box map on the practice server by jitter clicking and placing blocks on the walls. He could do a similar thing with actual placeable blocks in this event.
Yeah, do you think, is it possible that Pink will just rush instead because they have the half Simmers team along with Fruitberries?
I think they might do a similar strat to what Pizza Hut has done in the past, where they have basically a backup plan of just filling in the wool with one person doing that if it comes to that. But then they'll also have people trying to go for kills, trying to actually defeat the other team, and they'll have like different options there. So that's a viable strat that I think they could potentially do. I call the Pizza Hut strat in Battle Box with the defender.
With the Pink Parrots team as well, we obviously know that Illumina and Fruit are both very strong PvPers, but Zeus has been grinding the Battle Box on the practice server, and he had some, I'd say, great plays on both Filza and Littlewood, other players that normally are considered pretty strong. So I think Zeus might be an unexpected carry for this team in the game.
Right. What team do you think's gonna do best in Battle Box overall, though?
Blue.
Blue.
I think this is the one game where Blue will just absolutely destroy everyone. I have fairly low expectations for Blue in almost all of the other games, but Battle Box, they are going to dominate. Wisp has been so strong in this game constantly, and Phil has also had many pop-off performances. Sneak is going to be fine at PvP. Burren is a great support player, and yeah, that they are very scary in that arena.
I think Red will also do really well as well. I don't think there'll be any 9 out of 9s or even 8 out of 9s this event, but there'll be a few teams getting 7 out of 9 in Battle Box.
Could very well see that. And the next game alphabetically after Battle Box is Build Mart. We think the scoring changes will lead to any different strategies, or is the focus 2 builds and leave 1 for much later or never touch at all still the way to go?
I think that's going to be implemented by about half the teams this event.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't seen it in full force. Very few teams have been open to using that, but with the scoring changes, there's even more of a reason to try that now. So we're definitely going to see a few more people try and go for that.
Yeah, and I think it's going to work as well. It seems to be very viable with the new build mart scoring changes. You really don't want to be getting low placement on builds, and focusing 2 builds seems to be the way to deal with that. So I think we're going to see those teams with that strategy popping off.
It's true. I think we'll definitely see continued evolution of Build Mart as teams try out these new strategies and try to see how they can min-max these points. The next game alphabetically is Grid Runners, which I feel like we've talked about plenty. So let's move right past that real quick. Hole in the Wall, you think there's any new strategies or anything different going to happen there?
I don't think it's a matter of new strategies in Hole in the Wall. I think it's just a matter of giving credit to the players who get close but aren't quite able to get that win. Because some players who traditionally aren't very good will have that pop-up performance where they're not quite able to win. But this time, they can actually get recognition for that, which they very much deserve.
All right, what team do you think will do best in Hole in the Wall?
Ooh, that is...
It's a tough one this time, because normally it'd be, you'd say like a Phil's of Minecraft, a Pizza Hut, a Fruit Berries, whoever wins it. But I think it's going to come down to teammates more so than this.
Yeah, there isn't any team that looks incredibly strong at Hole in the Wall or compared to any other.
I think what we want to look for is a team that has 2 very good players rather than 1 specific carry. We want a team with 2 players that can both reach the top 3, or at least over the course of multiple rounds. 2 players can pop off separately. So we want a team with a strong duo that is going to do well at Hole in the Wall.
I think that could be
Fruit Ninja.
Fruit Ninja. It could also be the case of the Red Rabbits. Sapnap has been very much a breakout player in Hole in the Wall, and Tubbo is no slouch either. So I think that could be a surprising Hole in the Wall team.
It could pop off for sure. But I do like the idea of Fruit Ninja doing well, because both of them are capable of getting wins. We haven't had an Illumina win yet, but he's very capable. He's gotten close before. He's done rather well at it. And Fruit has definitely won rounds. He's definitely popped off. So strong potential there for Pink.
And then after that, that's Hole in the Wall. One of the easier games to know what's going on. But Parkour Tag, one of the more complicated games. And as we know, the current scoring system prioritizes whoever wins, hunts all 3 first. So from that fact, which team looks strongest for Parkour Tag?
I think Cyan look incredibly good at Parkour Tag. We know how good Dream is. We know Tommy and Ponk are good as well. And is on hunting, but that's a really good team. Also, the Red Rabbits could be very good additionally.
Personally, I'm thinking blue again.
Really? Let me hear those
because so we've acknowledged before that blue is probably the scariest battle box team, unless you're Saber, because you don't like blue bats or something. I don't know, but they are all very skilled players in their own right. King Burren is actually very, I think, overlooked in terms of Parkour Tag. He's been top 5 in terms of that game. Filza, Burren, Wisp, all just great Parkour Tag players. And then throw in Sneak, who he's speedrun Minecraft before. He knows how to move fast. I think this team is just gonna bully other teams in this event.
You know, one team I see doing really well in that game is Orange, because Pete obviously is a parkour legend, one of the top parkour players in the event, and teamed up with SB, who was popped off a lot in Parkour Tag. He did very well in MCC 14, teamed with Kratzy, and he could replicate that same performance again. I could really see that happening. And add on to that, Grian has some of the best comms in the event. Like, when Grian is on your team and he's like telling you where to go, you will always go in the right direction. Grian can always be that kind of communication guy that's telling you where the hunter is, telling you how to maneuver around him. He's very strong at that.
Real quick before we go on to the next game, that was Parkour Tag. I want to circle back to our announcement for the 30K celebration because I see people asking in chat. Play if you could pull that up on screen. The idea is we're making a hype trailer of you, our viewers. And so to do that, you have to send in clips, whether hopefully they're on YouTube. That's easiest for us to do. But send them in through the form. They need to be of you, playing Minecraft, doing something epic. Also, exclamation mark 30K special. We'll also announce this on the Discord, Twitter, and YouTube after we finish up the streams. So you'll be able to see it on all of those places at the same time. And you don't have to just ask me. I'll spam the link a couple more times so you can see it. But yes, if you would like to be in that video, send that in. Also, make sure you subscribe so you can be one of our people we feature. And what else do I promo? Also join the Discord because we're going to be running events soon. So there'll be Minecraft events, general Discord events, stuff like that. So if you want to be part of those, make sure you join the Discord. That's enough self-promo. I can only chill out so hard, I should say. After Parkour Tag, though, we get all the way down to Sky Battle. Sky Battle is a game that I think we're still seeing new strategies in. But what do you guys think will be the team to watch out for in it?
I think Red is very intimidating in Sky Battle. Sapnap has popped off a lot before. He's done very well in Sky Battle multiple times. I think Sapnap's going to be a good carry for this team, and he has strong support from George and Tubbo and Gumi, who's going to be a good team player, hopefully. So Red is going to be scary for sure.
I think I'm going to have to go with the Cyan pick for that because it's Dream and Tommy. These are some of the scariest Sky Battle players, or in Tommy's case, also Sky Blocko players we've ever seen. Add on Ponk, who's got his Bed Wars experience, and then throw in Carl Jacobs because he can do well as well. So that team is probably just going to be very scary.
Saber, who's your Sky Battle pick?
Oh, it's definitely Cyan. Dream and Tommy will do quite well. Although I expect Tommy to actually spleef Dream once because, yeah. But I think Cyan will still do the best. And I also think Red will do quite well. And we know Sky Battle is perhaps the last game with a still extremely high point differential possibility. So that team, or dominating Sky Battle, could be huge, especially if it's played in the second half.
So those are 3 different picks of teams coming at you for Sky Battle. So it's going to be tough to know. Do we think there's going to be any different strategies coming in this one? We've seen the thick bridge be the main strategy of the final circle. But do we expect to see anything else different?
Well, I don't know. The Sky Battle mechanics haven't exactly changed that much. There's no big new items or a new map or anything. So I think we're going to see a lot of the same stuff unless someone comes up with some sort of big brain strategy, which there's always the potential for that. But I don't think there's any way to really predict what we're going to see in this Sky Battle.
Good point as well. The other game that I forgot alphabetically is before Sky Battle is Sands of Time. And the thing I want to say about Sands of Time is we know from the lead developer of the games on Discord, he said that this is a very good Sands of Time to get tons of points. So it's very possible that some team get a lot in this. So do you think that's going to change who wants to play the Sands of Time, or who's going to be the team to get all of those points?
One thing I noticed in Sands of Time, the cracked gold bricks give an insane amount of coins. Like, absurd amount. So if you ever see the cracked gold bricks, definitely break them and get those coins. They're worth so much.
Definitely, if you're in chat, make sure to yell at your streamer about the gold in the wall, the sand that can be also in the wall they need to collect, and also the target blocks that can be above their head that they could shoot at. So those would be the things to make sure your streamer knows so that they maximize what they get out of the dungeon.
Sands of Time is just one of those sort of unpredictable games where, like, we don't know what the maze is going to look like. You don't know what the dungeon's going to look like. Anything can happen just based on what Noxcrew decides to throw at all the contestants.
I just want to see someone open the gold vault.
One day the gold vault will be.
I just want to see it happen. Why is it gold? Why is it so good? Like, Also, if there's so many points, does this mean we can open the gold vault for once? Like, because we've gotten close. We've seen people get the key. We've seen people get the vault. Why can't those two just meet?
There's gonna be like a god apple in the gold vault. Just watch.
There's gonna be a god apple that you eat and then can go underneath the lava and find a black vault that no one's ever seen before.
Ooh, that would be awesome.
One day we'll see the gold vault open and we'll see how many coins are actually in it. But the game after Sands of Time. Game after Sands Time is, I just saw it, survival games. We're back on the forest map. Coins have been adjusted, so kills aren't worth as much. How many people do we think will be alive in the final circle?
Well, unlike the World of Cars map, unlike Millionaire Mansions, the World of Cars forest map is quite elevated in the center, and that causes a lot more people to die as they approach it, and so it'll ultimately, I think, be a bit less than World of Cars.
It's gonna be interesting ending because like people are gonna want to be playing it careful, but there is always a potential for people to want to go for kills because if it's played at the beginning, people might want to get early leads and they might not see as much risk in going for kills. And then if it's played at the end, people might want to make big comebacks. But what were you saying, Saber?
Oh, we'll hear from him in a second. I think I'm agreeing with Saber that we won't see, hopefully, 32 people alive in that final circle. I'm guessing somewhere in the low 20s because with the map being so much more open rather than the buildings of Millionaire Mansion, there's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to hide multiple teams on top of each other. They're not going to all be condensed in that tiny space. So instead, they're going to have to fight it out. And we'll hopefully see a giant clash if Survival Games is played. Lucario, any thoughts from you on Survival Games?
Not really, besides just, yeah, as you said, the map's more open. There's going to be a lot less teams making it to the end. There still might be, I'd say, probably 7 teams alive. Some not full. Most of them probably still full because they're just very good at hiding away. But overall, it's just not going to be as... There's not going to be any MCC 9 Blue Bats or MCC 15, I think, Red Rabbits, where it's just one team absolutely dominates.
Let's see. We will see how it goes. We have one game to talk, get to their side. But I'm just going to remind everybody, if you want to ask us questions, you can ask us in the Ask the Show channel on Discord. Because after we finish to get to their side, we're going to take some questions. Because we will be likely only 20 minutes away from MCC. When the admin stream goes live on Twitch, we'll be rating them there. And here on YouTube, we'll probably be sending you to Solidarity. And if you're only watching on YouTube, then your people to watch are Solidarity, Rian. I think those are the only 2 today streaming on YouTube. I forget where Wisp likes to stream. He kind of goes both sometimes. But send us questions.
Normally.
Yeah, send us questions and ask the show. But for now, we gotta talk about to get to their side. As we said before, team coins are much different. Scoring distribution much different from this game. How do you think that's going to break up strategies, and who's the team that likely is doing that best in it?
As we've said before earlier, there's definitely a much more emphasis on the team bonus. So you'll see players like Fruit Illumina doing their team bridge strategy where they'll just emphasize trying to get all of their players across as fast as possible. But honestly, the biggest teams to worry about are just the teams that have just the best, just like highest skill average among their players. And I know I keep falling back on this and you keep surprising guys, but I think the Blue Bats is once again a team to look out for in this. Because Parkour Tag, it prioritizes the same skills to get to the other side. It's all in your movement. And I've explained why Blue Bats is scary in Parkour Tag, so I feel like most of that applies over here and to get to the other side. Also fills a Terra Swoop Force.
True. Stein, what are your thoughts on to get to their side?
Yeah, it's really going to be all about securing the team bonus, having like the best worst player on your team, if that makes any sense. You want to be consistent in getting in the top 4 teams rather than getting it like just once or 0 times even. It's not a very big help to have just one player do well every single time. So even more emphasis than before is going to be put on getting the entire team across. yeah, I don't think I have that much to add. It's just that's sort of how it is.
So which team are you putting there then?
Which team do I think will be good at to get to the other side? I think there's potential for Cyan to do it. I think like Honk is capable. Dream and Tommy are both gonna pop off, and Carl can just sort of follow whatever Dream and Tommy do, and just sort of keep up with them. That could be a high potential for a good team. You could also see Red do well. They're all capable movement players. So yeah.
Yep. Real quick, I'm going to answer some of the questions of chat, which are pretty easy for me to answer. If your streamer is not live, they will likely be live in a few minutes right before MCC starts. We're still 24 minutes out, so there's plenty of time. But in that case, just keep watching the mcc.live website, which will tell you when your streamer is live. Now I have a couple of questions in chat. This first one from Nate Sender and the Ask This Show channel on Discord. They ask, how do you think the old Ace Race map will impact the teams that have never played it before versus the teams that have played it before?
Yeah, that is a really good point. Experience is going to definitely come into play on a map like Python's Crypt. I'm trying to think of like which players might have never played Python's Crypt before that could have high expectations for this MCC that may be a little bit nerfed by that fact that they're a little bit newer to the scene. What good players have joined in the last few MCCs that might struggle with that?
I'm thinking just Sneeg. Even though like he's joined this MCC and we don't know how good he would be at Ace Race, he's obviously put in the grind on the practice server Ace Race, so we know he's mastered down those mechanics. So I feel like the only thing holding him back at this point would be map knowledge.
Yeah, and that map knowledge could be detrimental. So we're not sure exactly how Sneeg is going to perform. We're just gonna have to wait and see. Another player who I'm not sure if they've done Python's Crypt with Ace Race before is King Burin. I don't know if he was in oh no, he was in MCC 12, so he has played it once. But it's been a while. He's only played it the one time. He could be a little bit held back in this MCC. I'm not
You
sure.
also throw in Rambo, who hasn't done it yet.
That is very, very true. Ranbu is one of the newer players who hasn't had an opportunity to play it yet, along with a player like Antfrost, who has done very well in Ace Race, could be held back a little bit by the new map. We're going to have to see.
Those are good points being said as well, because it is a complicated map. Not the most straightforward of where to go, where the shortcuts are, where those quick, easy ways are to save time. So it'll be a case of, for these people who haven't played it before, did they do the VOD watching to figure out what those paths are? The next question is kind of a fun one I got from Dr. Microwave. What a name, first of all.
Wait, the microwaves can get doctorates?
They can. It's a weird world we live in. How do you think playing MCC in VR would be?
Oh.
If
it would
only
be chaotic.
Kaizo was here.
Oh my god. That does...
Well, yeah, MCC in VR would definitely be chaotic. Would not recommend, even though I've never played Minecraft in VR. I can only imagine this going poorly. There's no way that would end up good and fun. No, no.
I feel like there's just so many aspects of like Minecraft in Control that you can use that you just lose from going into VR. For example, like it's just a lot harder to just move around, just watch where you are. You can't use F5 nearly as well as you would ever use, because I don't know if you even can use F5 in Minecraft VR. The movement is going to be a lot harder to get precise. It's just overall probably would be a miserable experience.
It would be very difficult to do well and very difficult to even know what is going on. So likely we will not see anyone doing it anytime in the future. And if you ever was a Minecraft VR event, it would probably have to be specially designed games to make them more playable for that kind of experience. It would be difficult. Any other thoughts anyone else wants to add about stuff we talked about? I'm waiting for more questions in the Ask the Show channel. Clay, producer Clay, can you also put up the teams on Clevin's graphics so everyone can see those, since people seem to be forgetting? Anything else we expect to see today? You expect any... How about a dumb prediction? How many rounds will Dodge Bolt be?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. Obviously,
Wait, so going by our top 2 teams, who would that be in Dodgebolt?
That was orange and pink.
orange and pink is an interesting matchup. While I think pink would win Dodgebolt, I think it would take them a little bit more than 3 rounds. I think it's not going to be a clean sweep. I think orange is going to clutch up in a round or two, and it will be 4 or 5 rounds.
I think a 4-round Dodgebolt. I think pink is definitely going to win this because Fruitberries has just been getting better and better at Dodgebolt, which I didn't even think was possible. But now he's just reacting to dodge, and it's insane. I don't know if Illumina can do the same, but we know Illumina's good. Zeus has been surprising me so much with how well he does in Dodgeball on the practice server in terms of how well he can shoot. And I've never seen Vixella play Dodgeball, but I'm pretty sure she can hold her own with the rest of the team.
Saber, what are your thoughts on Dodgeball? How many rounds would it go?
Green, orange, and pink. I think it'll go a full 5. And we won't have a reverse sweep. We'll get another 5-round Dodgebolt like we did in 7 and 8. And it'll be hype and PogChamp.
It will be very exciting for sure.
But of any team, I think red is the strongest team in Dodgebolt. With George and Sapnap, I don't think there's much chance they lose.
Agreed. Cyan will also be strong, but I think red has the edge.
All right, we're still chilling. If you have more questions, put them in the Ask the Show channel because we appreciate all the questions. Or you can put them in chat now that chat's calmed down. We're just 18 minutes away somehow. Very close.
Yo.
Let's just run through some questions here.
I'm waiting for some more to come in. We've answered most of them. Although our mod, whose name is Cyan, asks, "What do you think of the Cyan team in Build Mart and Sky Battle?"
I think they'll do extremely well in Sky Battle, but I think it's likely they get dead last in Build Mart.
I completely agree with that. I see a first place last case scenario.
Yeah, for sure. Cyan is going to struggle in Build Mart. Their players are going to be talking over each other. Neither of them can really be like a communication-oriented carry for their team. They don't have the right kind of leadership for a game like Build Mart. But yeah, in Sky Battle, definite pop-off from Dream and Tommy as a duo.
All right. With the new coin system, do you think the points record will ever be broken again?
Ooh.
Interesting
If
question.
If this point system remains forever, can it ever be broken again?
I'm gonna say probably not, on top of the fact that Scott's team balancing it's just appeared to get better and better.
Yep. Sapnap was really close in MCC 15, but with the changes to survival games, he's quite a bit off what he'd need to be at to reach
No
there.
blade never dies.
Instead of getting 4.2k coins in MCC 15, the new scoring would give Sapnap only 3.5k.
That is a huge difference.
It's definitely a
700
tough thing
multiplied.
to ever break that points record again, especially with how good, as Lucario said, how good the teams are against each other and balanced, where it's very hard for one person to pop off and dominate that hard. I had a question from good old Blobbington that asked, "Where can I support MCC the show on YouTube?" Obviously, you hit the join button down in the bottom to become a channel member, or you join us as a subscriber. We would greatly appreciate that and all your support nonetheless. Somebody asked a good question, which was, do you think after, it's safe to have in-person events again, that we will see a live MCC with everyone in person?
I don't think so. Just because 40 people, literally all over the world, it's just quite difficult to coordinate.
Very hard to coordinate.
Exactly.
The only thing that could happen if it's like an official thing at Minecon or something.
Yeah, we could see something like a big event at Minecon, but like MCC Minecon Retreat, but I'm not even sure that would have like every single like regular that we would normally see in MCC. Some people might not be able to make it, so it's just unbelievably hard to coordinate 40 people all making it in person.
We could potentially have like a reduced or like a revised kind of MCC event with maybe 4 teams or something. Like they make like a little mini event that could be done at like a convention or something. So something like that could happen. It would be a very, very modified tournament. It would be nothing like the normal thing that we all see, but there's potential.
Well, maybe
Question.
maybe one day we can see an event like that of an MCC in person, because I personally think it'd be really cool to see everyone be in the same room, same big room, or same right next to each other, all competing. We've seen before the duos of Tubbo and Rambo in the same place, Fruit and Illumina same house now, Dream Sapnap, so many people. So it'd be great to see a whole team all together. Having said that, another question that I think would be a funny one, again from our lovely mod Cyan. What if for an MCC everyone switched skins with their teammates? What do you think that would cause to happen in the games?
That would be chaotic because people could accidentally target the wrong players in like PvP games, and it could lead to a lot of confusion and points going in a potentially different way. If like one team gets confused, they target the wrong player, and then they all die because the other team's carry is still alive.
I remember in MCC 12, the Pink Parrots all put on a Technoblade skin, and it was a lot harder to tell which of them they were fighting and who was low on health because you couldn't really tell them apart in the heat of the moment. And I think if everyone did that, oh, I don't know what would happen. That would happen to everyone, and even you'd get confused with your teammates.
There's genuinely some kind of strategy to this that would help you out at the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure.
Could be a strategy that happens at some point. We've seen a whole team wear the same skin, so maybe that does happen again and be a strategy they use to try to confuse their opponents. But it'd be pretty wild to see that happen. We are now just 13 minutes away, so close to MCC. It's almost time. Speaking of, if you didn't know, our channel will have great MCC content after the fact. Our top 10 video will be ready as soon as it can be right after MCC. We will also have a post show. We'll also have a VOD review stream, as well as some other videos highlighting all the cool things that happen in MCC. So make sure you subscribe to be ready for that. Also, if you're excited for MCC Rising, we will still be planning to make content for that. We're just going to wait, like you, to figure out who will be on the 10 teams chosen. And we wait with eager anticipation. Guys, anything else we need to discuss at this point? We've talked about.
I've got one final question.
Saber's got it.
What game is going to make this MCC 17? What will be the most memorable, the most shocking? What'll change this whole event?
That's a really good question, and I personally think it's going to be Sands of Time. Especially hearing how they were saying Sands of Time is a game where you can make a lot of coins. And this will be similar to like MCC 7, where Sands of Time was just stacked. And literally, like the Green Guardians got so many Sands of Time points, it propelled them to get the team coin record. So I think we could have a similar case in this situation. We could get somebody getting the gold vault, somebody making a huge comeback near the end. So Sands of Time is very high potential for the MCC defining game.
I'm gonna completely agree with that, especially with the emphasis on team like communication-oriented games. Sands of Time is probably the best game for the majority of the teams in this event. Add that on to what Stein said about how OP the points are going to be from the Sands of Time. It's definitely just going to be the game to watch out for. If it would be game 8, that's just absolute chaos in terms of the scoring, if I had to guess.
I think it's going to be Grid Runners is the big game in this, with the scoring changes and also with still the uncertainty of which rooms will be in it, so no one knows what to expect. I think that's going to be the game that really throws the whole wrench and makes this MCC such a great one.
I think it'll be Ace Race. I think that it's got a huge opportunity for points, and it could be a very late game. Also, I have quite funny news. Sapnap has appeared to go live on his alt rather than his main, so...
Classic Sapnap.
We all know that means they're going to win.
Yeah. I think we could actually wrap it up here. We're going to send our Twitch viewers over to Critic Zeus to support the Pink Parrots, support the Simmers. MCC the Horse ran through the frame. That's our real sponsor. Remember to subscribe if you enjoyed. smash the like button and that other stuff people say. And we will see you all for the next stream from us, which will be after MCC with the VOD review. But we'll see you for videos with the top 10 plays and some other post MCC content. So stay tuned for all of that. Thank all of our lovely commentators who are here today. Miss the buttons to glow. Clay, who was on the camera, couldn't be done without everybody. And also thank you to all of the mods in chat. When Clay tells me it's ready, we're going to send those raiders over to Zeus. YouTube, I don't know if Solidarity or Green are live yet, but you can go check out their Solidarity is live, so go check them out if you want to watch them on YouTube. We'll see you all next time, and we appreciate